What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're talking about a topic that a lot of people were definitely waiting for me to publish, because if you guys remember, I've started my channel talking about crypto gaming projects as well as CASP and other things, but crypto gaming was definitely one of the pillars of my channel, and obviously everything's been boring, so it didn't make a lot of sense for me to make this sort of videos in the last few months. But now it seems like gaming is starting to come back, or at least to gather the attention back from people in the Web3 sphere. So we're going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about the top 5 crypto projects that I would consider buying right now and accumulating before it starts getting too hot, because obviously it's starting to get a little hot again, but honestly there's still a long way to go. And although we're seeing some movers in the market, and the section in CoinMarketCap has got the fire back, so it's definitely a good sign that crypto gaming could explode soon, and you obviously want to get in before we get the crazy multipliers and the crazy candles. If you see here on the section, obviously there's going to be a lot of old projects like Axie Infinity, top gainer in the last bull cycle, Gala as well, Sandbox, Decentraland, projects that nobody really cares right now. And if you're not new to my channel, you know that I'd rather focus on projects that are newer and fresher, because obviously those are going to be the top gainers in this bull cycle, but obviously will come with a bigger degree of risk. We can see also that the market cap of the gaming industry as a whole is starting to bounce back a little. Obviously we've seen the highs in March this year. Everything's been on a steady and steep decline, a very slow drain, so to speak, but now it's starting to get back up, and we went actually from 15 billion in market cap of beginning of the month into 20 billion, so that is 33% increase over this month, which is actually pretty interesting. And before getting started with my 5 picks, I want to give you 2 honorable mentions that could actually skyrocket and serve as catalyst of the crypto gaming sphere. Before we get started with the video properly, also make sure to follow me on X. There's daily alpha that I bring on there. I also got a free Telegram channel down in the description, as well as all of my referrals for exchanges and my favorite DEX, BullX. Everything is going to be down in the description, so make sure to take advantage and start making money with me. Okay, so the first one is actually going to surprise you a little bit, and it's Sui Play 0x1. And this is a handheld device developed by Sui, and given that Sui is the blockchain with the most attention in the sphere right now, and I'm super bullish on Sui, I think it's going to be one of the safest plays for risk-to-reward ratio right now. I think that the fact that they're building a gaming device and the ecosystem could actually be thriving on it, it really makes me believe like this could skyrocket crypto gaming if Sui becomes the ecosystem that it's setting itself to be. I think that this could really grab the attention of retail. While on the last bull cycle, the crypto games were boring and people would just wanted to make money. That was all a Ponzi and a money grab scheme. Like if you think about Axie Infinity, the game was quite trash, but people want to make money through crypto gaming. And I think that this bull cycle is going to be a little different, because it's going to be Web3 games that Web2 crowd would enjoy playing. And in my opinion, this really bridges the gap between the Web2 and the Web3 world, and so it makes a lot of sense. And the other catalyst event could be Off the Grid. This is a next-gen cyberpunk style battle royale game that is actually looking to be as good as a Web2 game. This respect and a variety of other streamers that are going to be involved with the marketing of this project, so they got a huge budget. And although I do believe that this project is going to be too huge to actually create original wealth, because obviously it's going to launch at a big market cap, there's a pre-sale, there's going to be very expensive nodes behind it, I still believe that this is really going to skyrocket. It's got the potential of skyrocketing the gaming industry as a whole, so you could see it as something that is going to be a catalyst event. And also another thing is that this is not going to be available only on PC, but it's also going to be available on consoles. So the fact that this bridges again the Web2 and Web3 crowds could really be a catalyst event for the gaming industry as a whole. So these are the 2 catalyst events that I would see. And now let's actually get to the 5 projects that I want to talk about today, starting in no particular order. I would say I think the Carrot is going to be a good one. And by the way, I'm going to tell you which ones I hold and which ones I don't. I don't hold this one. I don't even have it, so you can see that I'm as unbiased as it gets. A lot of people are trying to just pump their bags that they've kept around from the last run in crypto gaming. I honestly can't care less. I just want to give you a very unbiased review in the industry. And Carrot launched at a very crappy time in the sphere. It launched pretty much when everything started going downhill around the time of the halving or so. So it's gotten lower highs and lower lows, but right now we're seeing a parabolic pump, which, I mean, it went 2x in the last week or so. So obviously if you're in it, you're probably making some decent money. It's already listed on Coinbase, so obviously there's already good traction for this project. The only thing, and a recurring theme obviously, is the circulating supply and the dilution. And in fact, it's not a project that I'm so confident in saying that is going to do extremely well. But the pattern that you're going to be able to find here is that these projects are either going to go parabolic or they're going to do just fine, okay? But they're not safe plays, and as a result, higher risk, higher reward. You can't get both perks at the same time. And I do believe that this is going to do particularly well. However, you got to be aware of dilution and also consider then if the market is going to be extremely bullish, nobody's really going to care about dilution, because obviously all of these gaming projects that were pumping between November and last year and March this year, they were diluting a lot as well, but they were still pumping astronomically because the sentiment was quite bullish in the gaming sphere. So if the market is obviously very bearish, like it's been in the last 6 months, people are going to be very concerned about the dilution. But if the market actually changes, people are not going to care so much. But that being said, I also got to tell you that obviously if we're looking at March, at buying right now and selling in March, is going to be a clean 2x dilution from 8% circulating supply of today to 16%. So obviously something to be aware of. If you're to invest this, I can't give you any sort of financial advice in this video, but if you are to invest it, let's say that hypothetically you're going to buy this, make sure that you are aware of the token unlocks, because that could be a resulting factor. Anyway, they got this kind of game with this rabbit going berserk. This kind of looks like a Fortnite with rabbits, pretty much. I think it's gonna do well. It's not the kind of thing. I used to be a gamer back in the day, but obviously it's not something that I have the intention of playing. But anyways, I think that this is catchy. I know a good game when I see one. And this is a token that actually has some sort of utility. It's obviously going to be in-game rewards, in-game purchases. This is a clear pattern when it comes to crypto gaming. And I'm not too worried about the tokenomics per se. The only thing, guys, that matters is really the dilution of the project. You shouldn't care less about the tokenomics of a project in 90% of cases. Just think about a lot of people took their profits already. Every unlocks, people are going to take profits. That is just as sad as it is when it comes to centralized projects, and all gaming projects pretty much look the same more or less. So expect a similar pattern right here. Whether you consider this a very good investment or not, it really depends on you. But for something that is already 70 million in market cap, I could expect something between a 20 to 30x minimum if they really keep nailing things like they've been doing recently. It's not gonna give you 100 or 200x. The second one that I'm gonna talk about, I'm not gonna spend too much talking about this because obviously I've made a video literally yesterday about OTK, and this is my top play on the Solana ecosystem. If you're as bullish as me on the Solana ecosystem, you probably want a leveraged play on Solana. If you think the Solana is going to do well, then this is going to exponentially do well as a result. The trading volume is not that high because this is not listed on good exchanges yet. It's only on KuCoin really. And I know that the team has budget. I know that there's plans for centralized exchanges, but obviously they didn't want to list when the market was very bearish. And this is why they haven't been doing that much at all. But obviously, if you see the majority of gaming projects, this is only down 70% from the all-time highs, despite the fact that I pumped a lot. And it's pretty much one of the best charts that I can see in crypto gaming right now, at least when it comes to projects that are very high risk, high reward. So we're only 10 million in market cap right now. The tokenomics are not bad of this one. There's no crazy dilution. And I think that once the good exchange listings come into the equation, then it's probably going to pump a lot. I also want to remind you that they've recently partnered with Bonk, one of the top meme coins on the Solana ecosystem, obviously. They have very good reviews, and they're also, to the best of my knowledge, one of the only projects backed by the Solana Foundation, which makes it very, very good. And I also want to remind you that they're partnered with other centralized exchanges like Maxi and Gate, and they're not currently listed on there. Even a Maxi listing right now would drastically increase the trading volume, so I think it's a no-brainer given that they're partners, and given the fact that I think it's the only gaming project backed by the Solana Foundation. This really gives them competitive advantage. The numbers that they are recording, they're absolutely huge. I think that this is one of the most widely played games in the Web3 sphere, and they have very good reviews, and they have a double remuneration system with golds, which are essentially loyalty points, and OTK token as well, with a skill to earn and a play to earn gameplay. So I would expect very good things, and this is one of the only projects that I could find today that, in my opinion, could easily do 100x as long as some conditions are met, namely exchange listings like Binance and Coinbase in the future. And I also want to remind people that projects projects like Axie Infinity actually went to these highs, you can see, in a matter of a few months. So expect projects, when they move, to move particularly fast. They're not going to have a very slow and steady increase, but they're instead going to have a very massive green candle and sequence of green candles like this, especially if the big exchange listings come around. Next one is Beam, which I do consider quite a boring investment, but at the end of the day, is one of the best risk to reward plays right now in the sphere. I wouldn't expect much more than a 20x from something like Beam, but obviously this is looking to compete with projects like Immutable X, being one of the top gaming ecosystem this bull cycle. They started with the name of Mary Circle, which I still think that it serves as the DAO of the project, and they're easily one of the best ecosystem in gaming right now. There's games that are actually being built on it. There's a lot of movement that has been done even in these very bearish months. Honestly, it's not a project that interests me so much, but if somebody was to ask me what the best risk to reward and overall safe play in gaming is, I think that Beam could be one of the safest multipliers that you could achieve right now. Obviously, it's already listed on Binance, so you have the competitive edge of being listed on a tier 1 exchange, as well as Kraken for that matter, but it's not listed on Coinbase, so there could be a catalyst event if this was to list on Coinbase in the future. And it's already very well diluted, so you can see the circulating supply is 80%. One strategy that a lot of people could actually take is to invest into projects that are primarily diluted this much. Beam is starting to move, it's not starting to move as crazy, so it could be seen as a very safe play in the gaming sphere. The only risk that you could have in terms of Beam is the fact that gaming really doesn't come around. So if gaming crypto is not going to be a thing this altcoin season, then you could make an argument that Beam is not going to be a safe play. But provided that gaming has a decent or at least average altcoin season cycle, then I do believe that Beam should be a no-brainer if you're looking to build something that is more on the safer side. I don't want to spend too much time talking about this. It really doesn't fit into my investing strategy, so I would rather invest very small bets and put them into high-risk projects like OTK, which I hold, by the way. Beam, I don't hold it because I would rather focus my safety net into layer ones, but I see a point if somebody tells me that they want to invest into Beam. Another project that is particularly going to be big, but perhaps is going to give you better rewards this gaming cycle, is Big Time, which is something that I actually traded when you see this big candle. I think I did something like a 10x last year. Obviously, I got rid of it and it got into lower lows and lower highs like pretty much every gaming project. It is starting to move a little bit. In fact, it got up 50% in the last month. I also know that Crash has got bags into this, so probably he's going to shield his bags a lot. It's already listed on Coinbase, and as far as I remember, I think that they have a futures listing on Binance, but they are not listed on spot, so that would also be a good catalyst event. And if they're listed as a future contract, I'm sure that they're going to list on spot anyway. They're also on OKX and Kraken, so really spot Binance is the only thing missing here. 140 million in market cap with a very good trading volume. This is one of the best volumes that I can find for market caps that are higher than 100 million in the gaming sphere, so that is pretty good. The circulating supply is 22% right now. The dilution is not going to be outrageously bad. It really makes a point for people that want to invest into this. It's a single player game, and the game is actually good and one of the games that could appeal to the Web2 crowd. This is actually one of the only few games that I would consider playing myself if I was still a gamer. So the team has also been building. They got an insane following on X. There are 650k followers. Must be one of the biggest one when it comes to the gaming sphere. Big partnerships that are in the making. For instance, they just partnered with Games 3, which could be another honorable mention for today's video, to be completely honest. I've also made a review on G3, so make sure to check it out. It was just a few months ago, but it's definitely still valid. So I think that this got a lot of potential, to be fair. Maybe we could achieve something between a 20 to 30x for this one, and I would put it into the mid-risk and mid-reward kind of category. The last project I'm going to talk about today is Heroes of Maivia, and this project is a very weird case because there was a lot of people that were buying this at $10, so RIP to those people, because obviously I knew that this project would have seen a big decline. It launched too big of a market cap. It was going towards the 1 billion, and I was like, what the hell? There's no other chance that I would buy this. But at this level of market cap with 50 million, a circulating supply that is already 13%, and it's not going to be subject to a crazy dilution, and also a good exchange listing situation because it's not listed on the big tier 1 exchange. You can buy this on Bybit. I would buy this on probably on BitGet, which is one of my new partners, by the way. There's a $10,000 deposit that you can get if you register with my link, or on Maxi, which I also got a link down below. And it's not listed obviously on Coinbase and Binance, and I don't see how these exchange listings wouldn't come. It's already listed on crypto.com, which is usually a good catalyst event for these projects to be listed on the top 3, which would be Coinbase, Kraken, and Binance. That is just my theory, but I'm seeing this happen with pretty much every single project. And it's 57 million in market cap, as I said, and it really builds on the fan base of Clash of Clans, which has been and it still is one of the most popular games for mobile, if not the biggest and most popular game for mobile of all time. So obviously there's a clear fan base for this. The game looks great, which you can say about the majority of crypto games out there, and they have a massive number of downloads on the Google Play Store. The backing of this is huge. There's Ashki Capital, which is one of the biggest metaverse investors in Asia. There's Crypto.com and Binance Labs as partners. Animoca Brands, which is another massive name in the industry, and Kick. Imagine if Kick streamers start streaming this game during the bull market. It's probably going to be freaking huge. And if you see on the Google Play Store, there's 1 million plus downloads and 9.3k reviews. So that's actually quite huge. Some of the downloads could be fake. Yeah, sure, they could use bots, but honestly, I know that there's clear adoption into this game, and I've heard very good feedback from the people playing this game. So it should be a no-brainer if you're looking to build a gaming portfolio that is, again, more towards the safer side. In terms of risk and rewards, this is probably sitting at a very good spot, especially because this chart had clearly bottomed out around the 1.50. It has bottomed out. I don't think that it carries a big degree of risk. We're actually very close to the IDO price. So there's not that much of a risk, but there could be a quite decent upside. And I think it's just planned that this goes at least towards the $2 to $3 billion range. And this is it for this video. Let me know what you think about this list down in the comments. How do you feel about crypto gaming? I want to hear from you. And if you want to connect with me any further, if you want to see everything that I'm buying on a daily basis, or my buy and sell alerts, all my trading signals, as well as access to private sales, portfolio reviews, and a variety of other benefits, join my private group. The first link down in the description. cipro.com is the website. And I would recommend you join as a lifetime member. It's only one flat payment, and you also get access to extra perks such as my 3-in-1 course bundle. You might have a once in a lifetime opportunity this crypto bull cycle to change your life and to build generational wealth, so don't waste it. I hope to see you there and help you out with your crypto investing journey. And until then, take care for now.